Pinagmulan The Journey Home is brought to you by Cathay Pacific, Airline of the Year 2006, and by Goldilocks, How Thoughtful, How Pinoy. Closed captioning for this program is brought to you by Andoks Lechon Manok, the Filipino chicken. Some of the stories here on Pinagmulan represent universal experiences that are shared by many Pinoys in the United States. The big move, the challenge of a new life. We witness this transformation and this growth, and in the end, we learn from these lives. These are the stories that always hit home. After all, home is where it all starts. This is the program that brings Pinoys in the United States back to rediscover their roots and be reunited with their loved ones. I'm your host, Mike Ingona. Welcome to Pinagmulan, The Journey Home.
Posible kayang labanan ang agos ng paghamon, mabuwal at madapaman, sabay tayong aahon. Posible kayang maburang alinlangan sa sarili, ang tapang sa loob makikita, taglay mo ang dugong bayani. Sulong laban, huwag uurong. Pakinggan sa iyong puso ang sigaw na dati bulong. Sulong laban, Pilipino. Pakinggan sa iyong puso ang sigaw na dati bulong. Posible.
To Edgar Yalung, life is how you make it, or even simpler, it's how you live it. This is Edgar's story of passion and commitment when facing challenges head on. This is his journey back home, back to his Pinagmulan. Our story begins in the lush agricultural region of San Joaquin Valley, in the city of Fresno, California. Fresno is about 180 miles southeast of San Francisco. The name Fresno is Spanish for the type of ash tree that used to grow in large numbers along the banks of the nearby river. The city itself is built around Courthouse Square. Other interesting spots include City Hall, the Fresno Metropolitan Museum of Art, History, and Science, the Forestier Underground Gardens, and Reading Park. You wouldn't think it from the greenness that surrounds the area, but this rich and extensive farmland was once a dry desert. The nation's leading producer of food crops with over 250 kinds of produce worth at least $3 billion a year. Edgar and his family moved from nearby Salinas, California to Fresno in 2002. His wife Juliet works as a nurse. His son Vincent and daughter Daphne are both in college and work at the same hospital as mom does. You'd think that being married to a registered nurse that he'd have it made, but he'll be the first to tell you that living in the United States is a constant struggle. He finds himself continuously pushing beyond bounds anyone thought he could go. That would seem normal for anyone who's young and has all the time to prove himself, except that Edgar is already pushing 50 and is still in training for a triathlon.
Ito ang Millerton Lake, malapit lang sa bahay namin ito. Dito kami nag-train sa team in training sa Central California. Kasama ko yung mga ka-teammates ko. Dito kami lumalangoy, tumatakbo at nagbabike.
How is life in Fresno?
Well, life in Fresno, it's extreme actually, the season,
Yeah.
the climate in here. If it is winter, it's too cold. And if it is like this summer, it's more than 100 degrees.
And you train in this weather?
Yeah.
You're pretty studly, man. How is life different here in Fresno than it was for you in Cebu?
Ang diferensya, kailangan magtrabaho ko dito. Kung magtatrabaho ko talagang trabaho dahil sa unang-una yung hindi pareha sa atin sa Pilipinas.
Yeah.
Maski wala kang ang trabaho, o minsan halos nabubuhay ka ng insakto dahil sa pwede kang magtanim doon sa atin.
It's very touching subject.
Okay.
My understanding is that in Cebu, you and your wife owned a few bodybuilding gyms and stuff like that. And I think we talked a little bit about it. You said that your gyms were a little bit different than other people's gyms because you let in a lot of people, different people. Tell us more about that.
Okay. Yun naman ang pinaka-diferensya. Doon talaga, masasabi kong ma-fulfill ko yung maligaya ko talaga. Kaya munang-una sa sarili ko, mga kasamahan ko, mga kaibigan ko, pagkatapos yung mga bata, hindi lang bata, maski mga kasingidad ko o mas matanda sa akin, natuturuan ko sila ng yung malayo sa mga vices, sa mga kung ano mga addiction na drugs or whatever. Unang-una, pinakikita ko sa kanila kung ano yung, lalo na yung negosyo ko, yung physical fitness nga. So, marami akong na-organize din na may mga na-organize rin ako mga grupo doon na yun ang every now and then nami-miss ko talaga. Yung makauwi ako sa Pilipinas na ma-meet ko yung mga batang yun, kung ano na yung resulta yung pagtuturo ko sa kanila o yung paano yung pagsasama namin doon sa Cebu. Yun ang masasabi ko na hindi ko nakita dito.
It seems like physical fitness has been really good to you over the years. It actually brought you your wife. Could you tell us about that?
Ang misis ko, yun ang maliban sa pagka-nurse, parang love niya talaga yung body fitness. So nag-train siya sa sarili niya. Pagkatapos, naging instructor siya sa Plantation Bay, sa aming gym.
Okay.
Pero siyang una talaga dito sa physical fitness.
Okay.
Siyang una talaga nito. Pagkatapos, doon ko na lang natutuhan sa kanya na kung paano yung maging physical fit ka.
So you trained her?
No.
Or she trained you?
Siyang nag-train talaga sa akin.
What is the secret to staying physically fit all these years?
Disiplina lang tsaka
Is it
work.
a secret?
It's not a secret.
Okay, then tell us.
Okay, sa palagay ko, sa sarili ko, sa observation ko, walang ibang makagawa, maski bilyonaryo ka o trilyonaryo ka siguro, napakayaman mong tao.
Okay.
Walang gagawa na mag-exercise ka, kundi ikaw mismo. Yun ang masasabi ko. So, hard work sa sarili mo, yung disiplina, pagkatapos yung ika nga, masasabi na, health is wealth.
You were training to be in a triathlon.
Triathlon.
What was the name of the triathlon? Mount San Antonio?
San Antonio Lake Triathlon.
Lake Triathlon.
Doon i-held yung triathlon.
And the team in training is a program where they train you for a certain amount of period of time. You raise a certain amount of money, and then they pay for you to do the competition, correct? Now tell us what happened with your competition.
Okay. Ang diferensya lang noon, hindi yung sa pangangataon ko hindi ko kaya. Kundi yung pag-solicit ko ng certain amount of money, yun lang ang diferensya na hindi ako nakasama.
You weren't able to raise the required amount.
Pero hindi pa rin masasabing yung unfortunate ako no? Kasi yung benepisyo na lamang ko, yung pagtuturo nila sa akin, hindi na mawawala sa akin yun
Yeah. Well, here we are with this place. What's the name of this place? Lake Millerton?
Millerton Lake.
This is one of your places that you train. What do you do here usually?
Before, we train here to swim and bike.
Well, it looks like I brought my stuff here today. I brought my bike, I brought my running shoes, I brought my shorts. Maybe you can take me out for a little workout?
Okay, let's try it.
The triathlon involves biking, running, and swimming. Edgar and I first try out the water at Lake Merrington, and the temperature being a scorching 104 degrees that day, we certainly welcomed the coolness of the lake. Next, we hopped on our bikes, and before long, we were zipping along the path around the lake. This is the same course that the training group used to take with Edgar. After a brisk tour on the lake, Edgar and I got rid of the bikes and started running the rest of the course. A lot of it was uphill, and unfortunately, someone's legs gave up on him before we could go any further. Guess whose? Coming up, Edgar faces his humanity for the first time. When it comes to keeping healthy and fit, Edgar's a role model we should all aspire to. Although he's middle-aged, he has got the body of a guy half his age, and he's in great shape. Although he spent all those years lifting weights and getting hard and becoming strong, he still has a soft spot for those people back in the Philippines he's left behind. his friends and family. Your mother was diagnosed with cancer in 2002, is that right?
Oo, nandito na ako noon.
You were here. When you heard the news, I assume that you wanted to go back there immediately, right?
Oo, yun ang natural na, yung kan mo talaga, yung feeling mo talaga, kung pwede nga lang. Ha? Pwede naman talaga, pero yung nga lang, hindi rin ako makakabalik dito basta-basta muna. Dahil lang sa hindi pa dumating yung green card namin, yung sa immigration.
Okay. Did you do anything to try to help your mother out? What did you do?
Oo, nung time na yun, wala pa akong trabaho. Yan nangyari, sabi ko, para na makakuha siya sa hospital, magpatingin talaga, sinabi ko na, may trabaho na ako, pumunta ka sa hospital. Ganon. Ngayon, pero ang totoo nun, ibinenta ko yung maliit na lupa ko sa Pilipinas. Di nagpa-hospital. Nung sa pagtawag sa phone, nasa hospital, pero dumadating na talagang hindi na kaya, parang hindi na raw kaya. Sabi ko, hintayin mo ako. Kasi hindi pa ako makauwi. Kasi kung uwi ako, yung pamilya ko maiiwan dito. At saka nanay ko naman, very supportive naman. Sabi niya, diyan ka lang muna, naintindihan ko. Ganun ba?
That's great.
Hintayin kita, kanya. Mga ilang araw na, sabi niya, nasa hospital na, dahil siyempre meron na rin pera, meron na, alam niya, may trabaho na rin, maligaya na rin siya.
Okay.
So, ang nangyari, narinig ko sa by phone, sa malay, talagang dumadaing na, hindi ko na kaya, hindi na, yung para
She sounded bad? She sounded really bad? You could tell in her voice?
Sabi ko, maski masakit, bitawan mo na. Sige, iikon mo na.
You had some health problems just recently, is that right?
Ito yung thyroid, ewan ko kung ano sa Tagalog ito. Ang sabi nila sa akin, thyroid daw. So, more than a year na ito.
Okay.
Hindi ko na-notice.
How'd you find out about it? What was it? What are
May
the symptoms?
pumutok ko na kuwan pala, yung hindi ko nararamdaman dahil under training nga ako.
Yeah.
Hindi ko iniisip na, pero pinahalagaan ko yung katawan ko, wala akong bisyo, pagkatapos magkakaroon ako ng ganon, no? Biglang lumobo itong kuwan ko, itong liig ko.
Really?
Oo, lumaki talaga. Na-notice ng asawa ko pagkakita niya. Ngayon, kagagaling ko ng Las Vegas dahil dumating akong bibisita. Sabi nga, nahingi nga daw sila sa akin. Buti pa si Edgar. Dahil siguro sa practice, pati liig may muscle. Yun ang sabi sa akin nung barkada ko.
Even your neck has muscles, they said.
Sabi sa akin, para bang katatawanan pero ang serious sila. Sabi ng asawa ko,
bukas talaga dadalhin kita sa doktor. Ayaw ko magantay ng appointment sa primary care physician natin. So pumunta ako sa urgent care clinic. Dahil gusto ko talaga malaman ko kagad.
Pero ang takot ko naman, duwag din ako sa ganito yung matatakotin ako.
Is it because of what you'd seen with your mother and
Oo, kasi may thyroid
relatives?
din yung nanay ko. Hindi ko alam kung baka isang simptomas yun. Marami na akong iniisip Marami na akong naisip sa sarili ko
Kahit hindi niya sabihin na natatakot siya, nakikita ko na natakot siya.
Nalungkot nga siya kasi yung matatakotin siya sa doktor, matatakotin siya pumunta sa mga sa doktor. Kami din malungkot kasi di namin alam kung ano talaga yon, if it's cancerous or not.
Dinasal ko na sana hindi cancerous dahil nga it runs in their family. Mabuti nga, pinabiopsy kagad before the operation, so it was negative. And then, at the time sa operation naman, pinabiopsy talaga sa surgeon. So, wala naman. So, totally wala. Benign.
Fortunate pa rin ako. Unang-una, nandito ako sa Amerika. Yung pamilya ko, kasama ko. Pagkatapos, in good health ako.
Okay.
Pagkatapos, nalaman ko pa na wala akong cancer.
You know why we're here. Tell us, why do you want to go to the Philippines so badly?
Ang pinaka-importante sa akin, maka-pay respect ako sa nanay ko. Yun ang the best na unang gagawin ko talaga. Isa pa rin na pinaka-importante sa akin, yung nalaman ko yung pag-train ko dito sa team in training dito sa US. Tinrain ako talaga sa triathlon the right way, na gusto kong i-share sa mga tao, na mga taga Cebu na mga kaibigan ko, tsaka yung mga bata noon na ewan ko, mga binata na siguro ngayon, tsaka yung mga grupo ko doon. Maring sila, maski matanda na tayo, sa edad lang, maring may share ko yung the right way na about sa training. Ito yung benepisyo na nalaman ko talaga dito.
Well, I got to tell you, Edgar, you know, I've been out here, or we've come out here, we've had a chance to speak to you. We've seen what kind of a father you are, what kind of a son you were, what kind of a husband you are to your wife, Juliet. And we've also, I've actually had a chance to train with you. So I think that you've actually learned enough of your training techniques from team and training to actually share them with your friends and family in Cebu and in Kapas. So, as a result of that, us here at Pinagmulan would like to give you a ticket, courtesy of Cathay Pacific, to go back to the Philippines.
Oh, good. Ticket talaga ito.
What do you think?
Sa wakas, hindi na ako mag-iipon ng mga ilang taon para makauwi. Makakauwi na rin.
So what do you think, man?
Oh, salamat.
You're going, man. And guess what?
you.
Here's the good part. You're going with me.
Oh, good.
right.
Di doon tayo magti-training.
Yes. Oh, no, more training. Edgar is my hero, and I'll tell you why. He's my hero because of the fact that at this age, he's close to 50 years old, he's in great shape, he's got a thirst for life, and he's been through some adverse things in his life. He lost his mother, he wasn't able to go back to Kapas to visit her. He went through some physical ailments of his own that he's overcome, that he's working on right now. And he's working on those things, and actually coming back from all that adversity, he has a thirst for life. And when I get that age, which is going to be real close, I want to be that way. I want to feel that way. And after hearing him and talking to him about what these two things happened in his life and how they've affected him and how they've changed him, I hope that I don't have to go through that kind of catharsis to get what he's got. But I mean, if we could bottle what he has, we'd all be young. Shortly after we gave Edgar his ticket to the Philippines, he received devastating news regarding one of his good friends. John Tampus has been living in the USA for 11 years now. He came to America by jumping ship and was in hiding as an illegal alien. Despite the hardships of living life as a TNT, John managed to earn a living and even send money to his family in Lapu-Lapu City in the Philippines. He eventually found true love and married Mercy, a cousin of Edgar's wife, Juliet. What Edgar didn't know, though, was that John himself was stricken with cancer of the liver. When John had to abruptly say goodbye to the Philippines in 1995, he left behind his girlfriend who had just given birth to twins, Emerson and Erickson. Although he has long ended his relationship with the twins' mom, John has been sending her money for support. He has not seen his children in 12 years. Since Edgar will soon be leaving for the Philippines, John has asked him to give the twins something on his behalf. John has recorded a personal message for his kids and family in Lapu-Lapu City. Coming up, Edgar returns to Kapas Tarlac to celebrate life. What does it take to finally come home again? This is your Pinagmulan, and we urge you to take that journey. Write to us and tell us why you haven't been back to the Philippines in years, but now feel the need to make that trip back home. Email us at pinagmulan@abs-cbni.com or send your life story to Pinagmulan The Journey Home, ABS-CBN International, 150 Shoreline Drive, Redwood Shores, California, 94065. The town of Kapas in Tarlac will forever be remembered in history as the end of the line for the survivors of the Death March during World War II. The tall structure, towering over 200 feet, is visible all across Kapas. This is the Kapas National Shrine, which commemorates the heroism of both American and Filipino soldiers. So, Edgar, what must be going through your mind? You haven't been back here in how many years?
At least probably about 3 decades.
Wow.
Talagang mga, pero sa una, paminsan-minsan pumupunta ako dito. Pero talagang hindi ko maipaliwanag kung anong ligaya ko dito, anong saya. Talagang unang-una yung makapag-pay respect ako sa nanay ko na namatay na hindi kami nagkita.
This is the first time you've been back to this place with your mother not here, isn't that right?
Kasi unang-una yung yung makapagbigay galang ako sa nanay ko na namatay na about 5 years ago. Tapos at least makikita ko yung buong pamilya ko, yung tunay na pamilya ko dito.
You must be looking forward to that too as well, huh?
Oo, yung makita ko man lang sila at for about how many years, ha?
So, there's another reason why you're here too. Tell us about that. You're here as a messenger, isn't that right?
Oo nga, yung unang-una yung si Jan nasa Amerika ngayon. Bago ako pumunta dito, may terminal disease siya, yung yung may cancer siya, tinaningan na siya at least about 6 months to 1 year. Maring masasabi ko dahil sa may dalawa siyang anak na about less than a year pa lang yung dalawang kambal niya na hindi niya nakita, yun ang bali. Parang ibibigay ko na mensahe sa kanya na maski hindi niya nakita ng personally na for yung mga about 13 years old na sila ngayon, maring dahil kakilala naman ako na parang kapatid ko si Jan, maski ganun lang siguro yung masasabi ko kung yung nafe-feel ng tatay niya na si Jan na para sa kanyang mga anak. Maring yung pagmamahal niya, yung mag-aral siya talaga mag-aral mabuti yung mga anak niya. Yung maski nagpakahirap siya talaga sa Amerika dahil sa palagay ko hindi siya makakauwi ngayon, unang-una sa kalagayan niya.
All right, so you're here to do that? You're here to be a messenger?
Parang magiging parang ako si Jan para sa kanyang mga
So you're
anak.
representing your friend to his sons.
Okay.
So let's go. All right?
Tayo na.
Ready? Kapas Tarlac also happens to be Edgar's birthplace and where he grew up with his family. Today, we're bringing him home to his Pinagmulan so he can pay his final respects to his mom, who passed away in 2002. This is Edgar's family. His sisters Lourdes and Mayette still live in Capas, though both are married and have families now. Edgar sent his 3 brothers to school and have since moved out of Capas. John now lives in Isabela. Bong stays in Manila, and Roy works in Saudi Arabia. A special guest in the reunion is Uncle Moning, who is Edgar's mom's brother. He's the last surviving member of a brood of siblings that originally numbered 12. We planned a big surprise for everyone. We've gathered everybody in the house, and nobody knows that Edgar's actually in the Philippines, except Ate Lourdes. And Ate Lourdes told everybody that she had just won a prize on a TFC show. We've gathered the family members in there and told them that they were going to be interviewed by this mystery host. Right now, everybody's inside. They're wondering who that host is going to be. But what's really going to happen is that in a few minutes, Edgar's going to barge in and surprise everyone. Okay, everybody, my name is Mike Ngona. I'm the host of a new show called Pinoy Traveler. And there's someone here that sent me a letter that resulted in a prize. It's a promotional thing. This is our first show. And so, who's Lourdes here?
I'm Lourdes.
Lourdes, we read your letter, and we picked your name out of the hat, and you are the grand prize winner. Problem is, we'll have to go outside and get it. So, everybody just sit tight, relax, and get ready for the surprise. Yes.
I'm excited.
Everybody just... Does anybody know who this guy is?
Parang ikaw si Mike Nicol.
Only my mother is
Anybody hungry?
Oh, yun, wala pa akong kain eh.
Edgar, let's get everybody up and get something.
Let's go. Let's go, Marty.
Edgar, you must feel great now. Your whole entire family's around you. We just had the reunion. How do you feel, man?
Hindi ko malaman kung ano yung feeling ko. Talagang napakasaya ko talaga.
You know, we understand that Kapos is important to you because this is where you were born and raised. But there's another city where you spent most of your adult life.
Right.
I'm talking about Cebu.
Yan. Yun talaga yung parang doon na ako mas malaki yung inilagay ko sa Cebu.
So Edgar, your Pinagmulan journey wouldn't be complete without a visit to the Queen City of the South.
Right.
So, in a few hours, you'll be saying, Maayong buntag, Cebu. So, get some sleep, man, because we're leaving real early.
Okay, thank you very much.
Coming up.
This is Cebu. What do you think of Cebu?
Originally called Cebu, the island of Cebu is as rich in history as it is in natural resources. This is where Magellan found his way in 1521, and to this day, Cebu remains an important historical and cultural center of the Philippines. Located in the center of the Visayan Island group, Cebu is surrounded by other large islands which effectively make it easy for everybody to come and visit. Often called the Queen City of the South and the seat of Christianity in the Philippines, Cebu City is the oldest city in the country. Nowadays, Metro Cebu, composed of the cities of Cebu, Lapu-Lapu, and Mandaue, is regarded as the second most dynamic metropolitan area in the Philippines. Edgar took us to Lapu-Lapu City to fulfill the promise he made to his dying friend, John Tampus. Friends and family have flocked to the house after hearing about some forthcoming news about John. We soon meet John's mom, Nanay Aset, and twin sons, Emerson and Erickson. The twins are now 12 years old, and all these years have been in contact with their dad in the U.S. They've not seen each other in person, though. Emerson and Erickson have always longed to touch their father's face, share some good times with him. After a tearful reunion, Edgar plays John's message for his loved ones.
Emerson and Erickson, huwag kayong ma-worried sa sitwasyon ko dito dahil malagpasan na natin itong mga pagsubok ito. At saka huwag lang kayong malimot sa pagsimba at pagdadasal sa Panginoon. At gusto ko mang umuwi ngayon para magkikita na tayo sa tagal na itong hindi nagkikita. Pero hindi pa pwede dahil magpagamot ba ako sa doktor. So ipagdasal mo lang na na madali ang recovery ko. At magpakabait ka lang dyan. At si Eric, at ikaw na Eric, mag-aral ka ng mabuti, mag-study ka sa mga leksyon niyo. Nami-miss ko na kayo. Pagdasal mo, marami pa akong mga plano sa buhay niyo. Batang-bata pa kayo. Ipagdasal niyo sa Panginoon na hindi pa kayo ang oras ko dahil kailangan ninyo ako. Kinakailangan niyo ako sa pag-aaral niyo. Gusto kong magsama-sama pa tayo. Jojo and Joel, huwag lang kayong masyadong ma-worry sa akin dahil okay naman ako dito. Palagi na lang tayo magdasal dahil yun ang kinakailangan natin. Magdadasal. Sana naman magkikita pa tayo. Jojo, Joel, and Joanne, huwag lang kayong masyadong ma-worried sa akin. Continue lang kayo sa pagdadasal niyo. Dahil magkikita pa tayo. Malagpasan natin itong pagsubok. pagsubok na to sa buhay. I love you all. I love you so much, my brothers, Juan and Juan too. Emerson and Erickson. Papa, love you so much. Ingat and always pray to God.
Edgar, we found out at the start of our story that for months you had been training for a triathlon in Monterey, California, and for one reason or another, you never did it.
Yeah.
Your family, you, have made it very clear how important this is to you. You've trained hard, you've learned a lot, and now it's time to prove to yourself that you're up to this challenge, even here in Cebu. Like I said before, man, this ain't Lake Merrington. So my question for you today is, can you handle it?
Bring it on.
The Pinagmulan Triathlon Challenge will have Edgar swimming, running, and biking. It starts at Marigondon Beach in Mactan Island, where he'll be swimming for a couple of 100 meters. Next, he'll be running for about 5 kilometers towards the city of Mactan. Biking his way across downtown Cebu, Edgar will end up at the outskirts of Cebu in the Busay area. All right, Edgar, are you ready? All right, I'll see you at Tops. Go! Marigondon Beach is where Edgar and his friends used to train. Edgar remembers how much he enjoys swimming the warm waters of Bohol Strait and quickly finishes the first leg of the challenge. Running under the hot Cebu sun nearly takes its toll on Edgar. He summons just enough energy to make it to the corner where his friends from the Cebu Bulldog Bikers are waiting with his bike.
Put something in my drink, somebody.
Now on the third leg of the challenge, Edgar makes it across beautiful Mactan Bridge through downtown Cebu. Biking in downtown Cebu can be tricky as Edgar dodges cars and works his way around traffic. He's well on his way to his final destination, the highest point in Cebu called Tops. Situated at the summit of Busay Hills, Tops is a popular tourist destination, not only because it offers a cool respite from the heat, but likewise provides a stunning panoramic view of Metro Cebu, Mactan Island, and even Bohol. At the foot of the hill, Edgar is greeted and joined by some of the members of the Bulldog Bikers as he starts the long, hard climb. Midway, as Edgar hits the proverbial wall and begins to falter, he's joined by a whole slew of Bulldog Bikers, junior members this time. The bikers encourage him to work harder, faster. Edgar gets a second wind and pedals his way to the top. Edgar's triathlon ends near Tops, and it is there that he will be greeted by his best friends, Romy, Raul, Baby, and Raymond.
Miss kita. Miss kita, pare.
That was an amazing feat for any guy at any age. I'm glad to be with you, Edgar Yalong, here at the end of our Cebu Triathlon. You know, I've said you're my hero before, but your accomplishment today just strengthens my resolve to try harder at whatever I set out to do. This day does not belong to one man, but to all men, and for that, you certainly deserve what I'm about to present to you here today. Have you ever seen one of these before? All right, I'll read the inscription, put it on. This medal is awarded to Edgar Yalong, champion of the first annual Pinagmulan Triathlon, August 6, 2006, Cebu City, Cebu, Philippines. Ed, now that you're done with the race, you and all your friends get a bottle of Lactopathy. Natural, ang galing. When the writer and director of Pinagmulan first came to me with the story of Edgar Yalong, I was really excited. What I was excited about was the fact that here was a guy close to 50 years old that was still vital and still very, very active in his physical fitness. So we go down and we visit him, and he puts me through the paces of having to do a lot of, the swimming, the biking, the running. But the one thing that stands out that's most important about him is the way he cares about people and the way other people care about him. We went to his reunion, and although there may not have been a lot of people there, my God, every single one of them looked like they loved him. Lourdes kept the secret from everybody, and she was pulling her hair out. She was a mess for a week. She had to keep it. He does his reunion in Capas because that's the beginning of his journey. The beginning of his journey home was Capas because it's where he spent most of his life in the beginning. So then we go back to Cebu, and it's where he spent his formative years, and he gets to do our mini triathlon. And I got to tell you, we've said it before. He's an amazing character. He did the swim, he did the bike, he did the run, and when the Bulldog bikers came up and took him up the hill, and we had all cheered up there, you could tell that those people also loved him. And then it turned into something different for him, and that is that for a very good friend of his, he had to deliver a message, a dying message, if you will. His friend John Tapos said, look, I need you to do something for me. I need you to deliver a message to my two sons that I haven't seen since birth. And we walked into that room and met those kids, Erickson and Emerson, and you could see that Edgar was agonizing over this as well. You see, Edgar had something similar happen to him in his life. He was not around for the death of his mother. So I'm sure it was tough for him. But you could tell that it was well appreciated. So all in all, again, our cliche, we're always different here in Pinagmulan. We get together with people, we reunite them with families, and we get a chance to tell their stories to people out there. And hopefully there's a person out there, anybody, that's been touched by our story. Because I can tell you this, these aren't empty words. Edgar Yalong is my hero. And you know what? When I grow up, I want to be just like him.
Kaning paguli na ako nga rin sa Pilipinas, nga rin sa Capas o sa Cebu. Pero na-realize na ako gyud na doon na pa di importante ko nga rin sa kalibutan na daghan pud di ay nagmahal na ako, importante ang kinabuhi. Pareha sa akong amigo na si Jan, sa tanang mga nakakita kan Jan o nakabalo kung unsang kuan, murag eyes opener gyud si Jan gyud kanang na importante di ay ang kinabuhi. Bisag ako na si Jan na akong amigo na doon na siya terminal disease na maisulti na apin na siya gyud. Apin na gyud siya mamatay. Pero nagsige pang fight, nagsige pang ampo. Ug nakita na ako ugon sa ang pagmahal sa iyang mga pamilya, iyang mga amigo niya. Parehas na ako, naibawan na ako kung unsa ang kaimportante na ako na basig sugrado ko gyud na ako'y buhaton pa nga rin sa kalibutan na parehas sa ng paghatag na akong mensahe sa mga pamilya ni Jan ug sa iyang mga kaluha, sa iyang mga anak na di nakitaan. Kanilipay na nga akong amigo kung unsa man ang may tabo niya. Ug ako, makasulti ko gyud na natagaan po ko ng murag kanindot sa naitabo kang dyan yun. So, bayon ta, ihampo na lang tiga paring dyan kung pananglitan. I do hope na makuha nato ning malampasan nato og yun ni ug ikaw po mayon ta na maluoy ang Ginoo na nimo paring dyan.
This has been Edgar's journey. From Tops here in Cebu, this is Mike Ingona, urging you to take that journey home to rediscover your Pinagmulan.
Saan ako napunta? Ligo-ligong daan, pinanggalingan ko'y nasaan? Ako'y hirap ng lumaing. Ako ngayon ay babalik. At isipan ko'y ikaw. Malayo man ako, muli tayong magkikita. Sabik sa yakap at muli sa bayan kong Pinagmulan. Hindi malilimot ang aking pinagmulan. Tungkol sa aking laman, ugaw pa rin kahit saan. Lumilingon sa yapak ng paan na galing sa ating pinagmulan. Pinagmulan ng magulang ko, pinagmulan ng inuno ko, pinagmulan ng kapang ko, pinagmulan ng wika ko, pinagmulan, pinagmulan,
Pinagmulan The Journey Home was brought to you by Cathay Pacific. Now you're really flying. And by Goldilocks. How thoughtful. How Pinoy.